Greg Branos here for the Coachspeak Index. What's up? What's going on? Week 3 already? Before you know it, it'll be week 17. Hell, before you know it, it'll be 2085. We'll finally be zooming around in those flying cars that we were promised would be the norm in the year 2000. I personally cannot wait to be cut off in traffic from not just the left and the right, but also from above and below. And maybe you're thinking, Greg, you won't even be around in 2085, which is a super mean thing to think and extremely mean to say, but let me tell you something. I got a plan, okay? I will be around. I will be there. And you know where else I'm going to be, of course, is on Underdog Fantasy. Not just in the year 2085, but also this week and every week for the rest of this beautiful NFL season. I'm drafting in the Dog Bowl streets. I'm doing pick'ems. Put some yesterday into the Coachspeak Index Discord. Tyler Warren, higher than 43.5 receiving yards. Tyler Algier, higher than 38.5 rushing yards. Puka Nacua, higher than 76.5 receiving yards. If you want to join me on these pick'ems, you can hit that little QR code bottom left-hand corner there on your screen. For the audio listeners, it's in the description. Join me on Underdog. Get up to $1,000 in bonus cash plus a free pick'em. Pretty cool. I put those into the Coachspeak Index Discord yesterday. Market shot up pretty quickly on all 3 of those. It's now 3 more yards for Warren, 5 more for Algier, 2 more for Puka. So if you want to get the best numbers on these plays, got to get into the Coachspeak Index Discord. Our information does not just influence player projections and rankings on all your favorite sites like Establish the Run and Fantasy Points. It also moves the betting markets in a very, very consistent manner, which you can track all the way back through last season. No one is plugged in more than the people in the Coachspeak Index Discord. And we got a QR code for that as well. Top right-hand corner of your screen. Again, in the description for the audio listeners. It is the best resource in all of fantasy football. And that's not just me saying that. That is... That's the top dogs in the industry saying that. All right, we're gonna go through just a few situations going on here this week. Pulled a few things from the Discord to talk about. If you wanna read about Kenneth Walker and that situation there in the Seattle backfield and the Rams with Blake Corum and Kyron Williams, that's all in the Discord. Today we're gonna touch on a few different things. Let's start out with a couple running backs. Let's go to Houston. Before Monday night's game against the Bucks, head coach DeMeco Ryans said that Houston was going to try to lean in with Nick Chubb a little bit more. DeMeco Ryans is not super reliable on player usage and workload coach speak, and it ended up not really being the case come Monday night. It was pretty similar usage to week 1. For Chubb, he ends up scoring a touchdown that Tampa Bay allowed him to score so that they were able to get the ball back. Rookie running back Woody Marks was actually the running back who saw a spike in playing time with Dameon Pierce, a healthy scratch. Marks looked pretty decent out there. And then after the game, DeMeco Ryans was asked whether he envisions more of a timeshare with Woody Marks and Nick Chubb moving forward. Ryans said, "We'll look at it. I can't answer that right now. Once we look at the film, we'll see where the actual issues are in our run game and who gives us our best chance." Well, he's going to find that some of the issues in that run game have to do with the offensive line that they thought was fine coming into this season, and surprise turns out not that fine. But Woody Marks, I think, between the preseason and the regular season, the little bit of usage he's gotten here in the regular season, little bit better than I think a lot of people were expecting from him. And Nick Chubb is kind of older, not looking great. Sure, he can get some of that shorter yardage stuff, fall forward, those kinds of things, but he's not blowing us out of the water with his performance there. If Woody Marks is on your waivers, would definitely pick him up, and we'll see where things go. This was a pretty quick turnaround from D'Amico Ryans on Nick Chubb. Now, he's not saying that, oh yeah, it's going to be a split between Chubb and Woody Marks, but before the game, he was saying we're going to lean in on Nick Chubb more, and then right after the game, he was like, we'll see there. Let's go to New York. The New York Giants. We saw a possible flippening of that backfield in week 2, which is even earlier than I thought would happen for Coachspeak Index Flag Plant Cam Skattebo. After Sunday's game, head coach Brian Daboll was asked about where he stands on the running back room, and he said, just game by game. I thought Cam Skattebo was running hard. I've got a lot of confidence in Tyrone Tracy, and he did a good job on our kickoff returns. I think we've got 3 guys we think we can use, and if we think one is running pretty good or feeling it, we'll give it to him. If not, we'll kind of use all 3 of them, but we have confidence in all 3 of those guys. And then in a Monday press conference, Daboll was asked about Tyrone Tracy, and Daboll said that Tracy had some good kickoff returns for us. It's not looking great for you when the only good thing that your coach says about you in 2 consecutive press conferences is that you did a good job on kickoff returns. By the way, Denny Carter wrote a piece on ambiguous backfields this past offseason, and Giants beat writer Pat Leonard told Denny, quote, the thing you need to know about Cam Skattebo is that Brian Daboll loves the guy, end quote. And if you watched press conferences this offseason, you could see that in Brian Daboll's face whenever he was asked about Cam Skattebo. I mentioned during our flag plant episode how Daboll this offseason talked about how much he loves the personality that Skattebo runs with, and just how underratedly big it is when a coach talks about a player's play style like that. Skattebo is simply the best running back in this backfield. He's already fulfilling the vision that Brian Daboll had for him, and the SKATTEBOIs are feeling pretty good right about now. Talk about a couple wide receivers here in Arizona. Jonathan Gannon was asked whether Marvin Harrison Jr. finishing with 2 receptions concerns him, and Gannon said, it doesn't concern me. He's one of the guys that the passing game goes through, so I think we need more production there. He drew a big DPI early in the game. That was huge for us. He needs his touches. I know that, for us to be effective overall as an offense. And then Gannon later stated that, I know Marv needs to touch the football for our offense to be at its premium. The next day, offensive coordinator Drew Petzing said that guys like Marvin Harrison Jr., Trey McBride, and James Conner need to touch the ball a lot for us to be effective. Now, I want to note something here. Petzing has been very adamant in past press conferences about how important it is to not force the ball to anyone. But that is a line that he uses almost exclusively when talking about Marvin Harrison Jr.'s role in the offense and how many targets he's getting. To contrast that, here's what Petzing said about tight end Trey McBride in a press conference on August 6th. Trey McBride is one of our best players, if not our best player. So we're always going to try to have him be an emphasis in the game plan and try to make sure he touches the ball and affects the game. So Trey McBride, we know, has been the focal point of this passing attack for quite some time now. This is the one guy you really can rely on to be kind of force-fed targets in this offense. And then you have these comments from quarterback Kyler Murray this week that, hey, there's only one ball, and sometimes Marv is going to get 10 targets, sometimes he's going to get 3. So this is kind of a nightmare for Marvin Harrison Jr. managers in fantasy. I can't imagine that you would be able to sell him high at this point. Maybe if he has a really, really good game against, who are they playing this week? San Francisco, I believe. Yeah, maybe you can sell him high after that, but man, it's seems like kind of rough sledding there for him. Going to be tough for him to pay off his ADP this year, methinks. All right, Tennessee Titans. Talk about their rookie, Alec Ayomanor. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. If not, apologies to the Ayo family, the Ayo family. Little Coachspeak index catchphrase in common with this last name here. All right, okay. Maybe that's why I subconsciously like him so much. Offensive coordinator Nick Holtz said this week that Ayomanor is really good at the contested catches. We're asking him to do a lot of the things he did in college. I would credit his fast ascension to how hard of a worker he is. He studies all the time. He asks great questions. He's super detailed. He's going to keep growing and growing. And then the next day, head coach Brian Callahan stated that the game is not too big for Alec Ayomanor. He's been everything that we were hoping he could be as far as that kind of X-receiver style with his speed and size and strength. He's proven that he can go combat catch with guys in this league. He's done a really nice job. If Alec Ayomanor is still sitting on waivers in your league, go snatch him up right now. 13 targets through 2 games, a bunch of air yards, and things should get better for this pass game after playing the Broncos and Rams to start the season. Cam Ward is getting his feet wet, but showing some real promise. Ayomanor is the clear wide receiver 2 here in Tennessee already as a rookie through 2 games. Things should just get better and better for him there. All right, we'll talk about a couple tight ends here and then get out of here. Atlanta Falcons, let's talk about Kyle Pitts. Offensive coordinator Zach Robinson this week said that Kyle Pitts is playing great. He's playing really good football. The more that he can be a legitimate blocker, which he's done a great job, he's shown great effort and strain. He's handling the edges really well when we ask him to do so. That just legitimizes everything else in the pass game. Really pleased with where he's at. He's playing fast. I think he's going to continue to ascend. I know the guys have a ton of confidence in him. He and Michael Penix Jr. are so close that Kyle wants to do right by Mike. All those things have been great, and just expect Kyle to keep taking strides. So this is a situation that I was probably wrong about with my offseason takes. Kyle Pitts played 77.6% of offensive snaps in week 1, and then 80.3% of snaps in week 2. And both of those are very notable because week 1 was a close game, and then week 2 was a blowout win. And those were the types of game scripts where Pitts was phased out of the offense at the end of last season due to his poor run blocking. I was quite skeptical that we would see a 5th-year leap all of a sudden from Pitts, but his blocking has been better this year. That's keeping him on the field. And this off-field connection that he has with Michael Penix Jr. seems like a very real thing that is carrying over onto the field for the golfing buddy of the Atlanta Falcons quarterback there. All right, finally, Chicago Bears. On Monday, head coach Ben Johnson said in a press conference that I kind of knew that the tight end position wasn't going to be featured as much in the first game. I was hopeful that we could bounce back a little bit more this last game with both Cole Kmet and Colston Loveland. And then on Wednesday, Ben Johnson said that Caleb Williams has a natural connection with Roma Dunze that you see all the time. I think he feels that with the tight end group too. We need to get that going a little bit more in games. We've seen it in practice quite a bit. And then Johnson also stated that the fact that the tight ends are not involved more is a reflection of me more than anybody else. I'm on that. So we will see if the tight ends here, and especially their 10th overall pick, Colston Loveland, get going. Loveland and Burden, Luther Burden there, both missed a bit of time in training camp, which put them a little bit behind. And we got these comments from Ben Johnson this past week of, we're going to see who really wants it. We have some guys who are kind of going through the motions out here in games, and we're going to see in practice which of these guys really want to contribute to the offense. Colston Loveland certainly seems like a guy that could benefit here, and they spent quite a bit of draft capital on him for him to not be producing at all and really not getting much playing time in these first 2 games. So we'll see if they unleash their 10th overall pick on the field, and maybe that can really get this offense going here. All right, that is it for us. If you want more info, of course, you got to get in the Coachspeak Index Discord. It's a treasure trove of information. I'm watching all of these press conferences, head coach, offensive coordinator, general manager, every day. It's dozens and dozens of hours per week of press conferences. I watch them for you so you don't have to. I put all the important notes into the Discord as soon as I'm done watching them, and it's incredible, man. It's such necessary information if you're playing fantasy, whether it's redraft or dynasty, whatever. Get in there, see what it's all about. If you don't like it, just leave after the first month. But everyone that gets in there stays in there because it's so awesome. All right, Sarah, take us out.